I learned how to drive when I was 16, and the hardest part was probably driving with my mom.
Oh my God, it's been so long, I don't remember.
I am actually currently learning to drive. I'm 18 and I didn't get my license when I was 16, so I'm in driving school currently, and right now I'm finding just being on like really busy roads really challenging.
Probably parallel parking.
Okay.
When did I learn? When I was 16. What's the hardest part? Driving in like really heavy traffic.
The hardest part of learning to drive was parallel parking. When I was 16, I think, yeah.
I think last year I learned how to drive. Making sure you don't run over small animals, as well as making sure you don't run over anyone else. And just stopping, letting other people go first is just kind of difficult.
Probably when I was 15, almost turned 16, and it was driving stick. My mom was teaching me, and she got so frustrated. We pulled over to the side, and she kicked me out.
I learned before I got my license.
I never learned to drive. I'm 21 years old, I don't have a license.
The hardest part was speed limit. I learned when I was younger. The hardest part was probably stopping my parents from yelling at me.
I learned how to drive at age 10, driving the farm truck, a 3-ton farm truck. Hardest part was trying to get my head above the dashboard when I was so short.
When I was 16 and parallel parking.
When I learned to drive, 16, and the hardest part for me was trying to reverse into a parking spot because I kept thinking I was going to hit a car.
I learned how to drive when I was 16, like when I was supposed to, and like I learned as I was going. And I was pretty bad as far as that goes, but I just took driving school, so it helped.
I grew up on a farm, so I learned when I was like 7 or 8 driving an old truck that could barely even run on its own.
I learned how to drive when I was 16, and I think the hardest part was remembering to check my blind spots for sure, because I ended up actually almost getting into a collision because of that. So,
16 for my G1, hardest part was just knowing what's happening all around, knowing what everyone else is doing.